Have you noticed something strange? Two men can work equally hard. They can have the same education, the same opportunities, the same intelligence. Yet one man's life seems to open effortlessly. Doors appear, people help him, money stays with him, opportunities find him. And another man, no matter how hard he works, everything feels like a struggle. Now, most people immediately look for external reasons: luck, economics, politics, family background. And yes, these things matter. But there is another dimension to life that most people completely ignore: the dimension of energy. Not energy in some mystical sense, not magic, not superstition, just the way life functions. Look at nature carefully. Nothing exists alone. Day and night, sun and moon, inhalation and exhalation, giving and receiving. Life is always moving between two complementary forces. When these forces are balanced, there is harmony. When they are not, there is friction. Now let me ask you a simple question. Why is it that many men know how to work, but very few know how to receive? Think about it. From childhood, men are taught to push, to achieve, to conquer, to compete, to prove themselves. Nothing wrong with that. But life is not only about pushing. Life is also about allowing. A farmer can plant a seed, but can he force it to grow? No. Growth requires another quality: receptivity. The ability to receive, the ability to nurture, the ability to create the right conditions. Without that, effort becomes struggle. And this is where something very important enters the picture: what ancient traditions called feminine energy. Now, before your mind jumps to conclusions, let us be clear. When I say feminine energy, I am not talking about gender. I am not saying women are superior. I am not saying men are inferior. This is not about social politics. This is about understanding life. Every human being carries both dimensions: a masculine dimension and a feminine dimension. The masculine seeks, the feminine receives. The masculine acts, the feminine nurtures. The masculine moves outward. The feminine allows life to flower inwardly. Both are necessary, but modern society has become obsessed with only one side: action, achievement, speed, competition, constant movement. People are running everywhere, but nobody asks, running toward what? A man can become extremely successful externally, yet internally miserable. Why? Because one half of his nature has been ignored. Imagine trying to fly a bird with only one wing. No matter how strong that wing is, you are not going very far. This is exactly what many people are doing. They are developing action, but not receptivity; ambition, but not sensitivity; achievement, but not balance. And then they wonder why life feels incomplete. The ancients understood something profound. They observed that whenever life becomes unbalanced, suffering follows, not as punishment, simply as consequence. If you eat without rest, the body suffers. If you work without relaxation, the mind suffers. If you pursue achievement without inner balance, life suffers. So the real question is not, how do I become more successful? The real question is, how do I become more balanced? Because success without balance becomes a burden. Money without peace becomes anxiety. Power without wisdom becomes destruction. Achievement without fulfillment becomes emptiness. And this is why many wealthy people are unhappy. Not because wealth is wrong, but because they assumed money would solve an inner problem. Money can buy comfort. It cannot buy inner harmony. That is a different dimension altogether. Now, here is something worth considering. Have you ever entered a home and immediately felt peaceful? Nobody said anything. Nothing dramatic happened. Yet there was warmth, ease, a sense of well-being. Then you enter another home. Everything looks expensive. Everything looks perfect. Yet the atmosphere feels heavy, tense, uncomfortable. Why? Because human beings are constantly creating an energetic environment, not through rituals, not through beliefs, but through the quality of their inner state. A joyful person changes the atmosphere around them. A fearful person changes it too. An angry person changes it. A loving person changes it. We affect each other far more than we realize. And this is why relationships matter so deeply. Not because someone completes you. That is a romantic fantasy. Nobody completes you, but people can either nourish your inner balance or disturb it. This is why the quality of relationships influences every area of life, including money, including health, including success. Because when your inner state is clear, your decisions improve. When your decisions improve, your life improves. It is actually very logical. No mystery, no magic, just awareness. But let's go a little deeper, because the real problem is not lack of effort. Most men are already making effort. They are working, planning, building, trying. The problem is something else. The problem is that many men have been taught only one half of life. From childhood, they hear the same message. Be strong, don't cry, don't show weakness, be tough, be independent, be successful. And slowly a strange thing happens. The man starts believing that receiving is weakness. Sensitivity is weakness. Asking for help is weakness. Listening is weakness. Softness is weakness. So he builds a hard shell around himself. From the outside, he may look strong, but inside, life becomes difficult because existence does not reward hardness. Existence rewards balance. Look at a tree during a storm. The rigid branches break first. The flexible branches survive. Why? Because flexibility is intelligence. Life is constantly teaching this lesson, but human beings keep resisting it. Many men are trying to force life to happen, force success, force relationships, force opportunities, force happiness. And whenever force becomes the primary method, frustration follows. Because life is not a machine. Life is an organic process. You can cooperate with it. You cannot dominate it. This is where many people get stuck. They believe that if they just push harder, everything will improve. Sometimes it does, but often it creates even more resistance. Have you noticed? The more desperately you chase certain things, the further away they seem to move. Happiness, love, peace, even success sometimes. Why? Because desperation creates tension, and tension blocks perception. When perception is blocked, good opportunities pass unnoticed. Wise decisions are missed. Simple solutions become invisible. The problem is not opportunity. The problem is that the mind has become too noisy to see it. Now, let us talk about something interesting. Why do some people enter a room and immediately create trust? People want to help them, work with them, support them, and another person enters the same room, and nobody feels comfortable. What is the difference? Not necessarily intelligence, not necessarily appearance. Often it is the quality of their presence. One person knows how to listen, the other only knows how to talk. One person is open, the other is guarded. One person is receptive, the other is constantly trying to prove himself. And people can feel this immediately. Human beings are far more sensitive than they realize. You may hide your thoughts, but you cannot completely hide your inner state. Life is continuously broadcasting it. This is why inner balance becomes so important. When a man is deeply insecure, he spends his life trying to look powerful. When a man is at ease with himself, he does not need to perform. And strangely enough, that ease becomes attractive. Not only in relationships, in business, in leadership, in every area of life. Because people trust stability. Think about it. If you were sailing across the ocean, would you choose a captain who is constantly panicking? Of course not. You would choose someone calm, grounded, aware. Life works the same way. People naturally move toward those who are centered. Now, here is another misunderstanding. Many people think feminine energy means becoming passive. Not at all. Passivity is weakness. Receptivity is strength. They are completely different things. A fertile field is receptive, but it is not passive. It transforms a tiny seed into abundance. The earth receives, then multiplies. This is the secret. Real receptivity is creative, transformative, powerful. When a man develops this quality within himself, something changes. He stops fighting everything. He stops treating life like a battlefield. He becomes more observant, more aware, more intelligent in his actions. And because of this, his efforts become more effective. Less struggle, better results. The amount of action may even decrease, but the quality of action improves. This is what wisdom is. Not doing more, doing what matters. Many people are exhausted, not because they are working too much. They are exhausted because they are working unconsciously. Running in circles, repeating patterns, making the same mistakes, fighting the same battles. A conscious person may work just as hard, but his energy is not leaking everywhere. His attention is focused, and attention is one of the most valuable things a human being possesses. Where attention goes, life follows. This is why inner harmony is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Without it, success becomes unstable. With it, even ordinary actions become powerful. Now, let me tell you something that may sound surprising.
Let us look at something that most people never notice. A man may speak beautifully. He may talk about success. He may talk about spirituality. He may talk about wisdom. But if you want to understand who he really is, don't listen to his words. Watch how he treats people, especially those from whom he expects nothing in return. That tells you everything. Now you may wonder, what does this have to do with prosperity? A great deal. Because life is always responding to the quality of your relationship with existence itself, and the way you relate to people often reveals the way you relate to life. Think about it. If a man is constantly disrespectful, constantly angry, constantly trying to dominate everyone around him, do you think he suddenly becomes peaceful when he sits alone? Impossible. Because wherever he goes, he takes himself with him. The inner world always leaks into the outer world. Always. This is why ancient traditions place so much importance on respect. Not because respect is a social rule, but because respect is an inner quality. A respectful person moves through life differently. He listens, he observes, he learns. An arrogant person already believes he knows everything, and the moment you believe you know everything, growth stops. Now let us talk about women for a moment. Not as a social category, not politically, not emotionally. Simply as human beings. Every man enters life through a woman. Think about that. Before you spoke your first word, before you earned your first dollar, before you achieved anything, you existed within the care of a woman. Whether life was perfect or imperfect, that fact remains. Yet many people forget this simple truth. They become successful, powerful, influential, and slowly gratitude disappears. The ego takes over. I did everything myself. Really? Did you create yourself? Did you raise yourself? Did you teach yourself language? Did you build the roads you drive on? Did you create the air you breathe? Life is always a collaboration. Nobody succeeds alone. Nobody. The mature person understands this. The immature person wants all the credit. Now, here is something interesting. Whenever gratitude disappears, suffering begins. Because gratitude keeps you connected to reality. Reality is this: you are constantly receiving. Every day. The sun gives light. The earth gives food. People give support. Existence is continuously giving. But the ego wants to pretend it is self-made. And the moment that illusion takes hold, a person becomes disconnected. Not from society, from life itself. This is why gratitude has such power. It softens the ego. It opens perception. It makes you available to receive more. Now look carefully. A man who genuinely respects women is not simply being polite. Something deeper is happening. He is recognizing value. He is recognizing dignity. He is recognizing life beyond his own self-interest. And this changes him, because every act of genuine respect shapes the person who performs it. Most people think actions only affect others. No, actions affect you first. If you speak harshly every day, you become harsh. If you think negatively every day, you become negative. If you practice gratitude every day, you become grateful. The action shapes the actor. This is why inner work matters. Not because somebody is watching, but because you are becoming something through every choice you make. Now let me share something that may surprise you. Many men believe strength means control. Control people. Control situations. Control outcomes. Control everything. But real strength is something else entirely. Real strength is the ability to remain balanced, even when you cannot control anything. And if you observe life honestly, you will realize control is mostly an illusion. Can you control tomorrow's weather? No. Can you control what people think? No. Can you control every event in your life? No. Then what can you control? Only your response. Only your awareness. Only the quality of your inner state. And this is enough. More than enough. The man who masters this becomes powerful in a completely different way. Not because he dominates life, because he cooperates with it. There is a huge difference. One creates struggle, the other creates flow. Have you noticed? Some people seem to fight everything. Every conversation becomes an argument. Every challenge becomes a crisis. Every disagreement becomes a battle. Life becomes exhausting. Not because life is difficult, because they are difficult. Then there are others. Challenges come, problems come, unexpected situations arise. Yet somehow they move through them gracefully. Why? Because they are not fighting reality. They are working with it. And this is in jest.
Let us talk about something that almost nobody wants to admit. Most people are not actually chasing money. They are chasing a feeling. Think about it. Why do people want more money? They will say, for security, for freedom, for happiness, for peace of mind. Look carefully. None of these things are money. They are experiences, inner experiences. Yet people spend their entire lives collecting the outer thing, hoping it will produce the inner experience. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And that is why you can find a poor man who is joyful and a millionaire who cannot sleep at night. Now please understand, there is nothing wrong with money. Money is useful. Money can create comfort. Money can create opportunities. Money can solve many practical problems. But money was never designed to solve inner emptiness. That is asking too much from a piece of paper. Imagine you are thirsty. You need water. Someone gives you gold. Gold may be valuable, but it cannot satisfy thirst. In the same way, many people are trying to use money to solve problems that require awareness. And naturally, they remain frustrated. Now look at modern society. From the moment a child is born, he is taught a very strange equation. More money equals more happiness. More possessions equals more success. More status equals more worth. Nobody says it directly, but the message is everywhere. Advertisements say it, social media says it, movies say it every day. And slowly people begin believing it. Then life becomes a race. Everybody is running faster, running harder, trying to reach a destination nobody has properly examined. Have you noticed? When people achieve one goal, they immediately create another. I need this much money. Then they get it. Suddenly it is not enough. I need more. Then they get more. Again, it is not enough. The finish line keeps moving. This is because the problem was never outside. The problem was the belief that fulfillment exists somewhere in the future. And the future is a very clever place. It never arrives. When tomorrow comes, it is called today. Again, the mind says, not yet. Just one more achievement. Just one more success. Just one more milestone. And life keeps slipping away. Now let me ask you something. If you cannot enjoy life today, what makes you think you will enjoy it 10 years from now? The habit of dissatisfaction travels with you. Wherever you go, whatever you achieve, the mind remains the same. This is why inner abundance matters. Inner abundance means you are no longer living in a state of lack. It does not mean you stop growing. It does not mean you stop achieving. It simply means your happiness is not postponed. You can work toward a goal without becoming a slave to it. You can enjoy the journey without constantly obsessing about the destination. That is freedom. Many people believe abundance means having more, but life teaches something different. Often, abundance begins when you appreciate what you already have. Think about it. Right now, there are people praying for the life you already possess. Someone wishes they had your health. Someone wishes they had your opportunities. Someone wishes they had your family. Someone wishes they had your freedom. Yet because these things are familiar, you stop seeing them. The human mind has a strange habit. It notices what is missing. It ignores what is present. And this creates perpetual dissatisfaction. The wise person trains himself differently. He notices blessings before he notices problems. Not because he's naive, not because he ignores difficulties, because he understands something important. Whatever you focus on grows in your experience. Focus only on lack, and life feels empty. Focus on gratitude, and life begins to feel abundant. Now, here is another secret. Prosperity is not just about accumulation. It is also about circulation. Look at nature. Everything flows. Rivers flow, air flows, blood flows, energy flows. Whenever something stops flowing, problems begin. The same is true with money. Many people either cling to money with fear or waste it unconsciously. Both create imbalance. True prosperity is intelligent flow. Knowing when to save, knowing when to invest, knowing when to give, knowing when to receive. This balance creates stability, and stability creates growth. Now, let us connect this back to relationships. Why do supportive relationships often lead to greater success? Because emotional stability improves decision-making. A peaceful mind sees opportunities more clearly. A chaotic mind creates unnecessary mistakes. It is that simple. This is why the quality of your inner life directly affects the quality of your outer life. People try to separate them, but they are connected. Have you ever noticed something curious? Two people walk into the same room. The same people are present. The same opportunities exist. The same conversations are happening. Yet one person walks out with new connections, new possibilities, new friendships, sometimes even new business opportunities. And the other person walks out exactly as he entered. Nothing changes. Why? Is it luck? Perhaps a little, but not as much as people think. Most of what we call luck is actually invisible preparation. Life often appears random from the outside, but underneath, there are patterns. And one of the biggest patterns is this: life responds differently to different qualities of being. Now listen carefully. People usually focus on what they are doing, but very few pay attention to who they are being. This is important because two people can perform the same action, yet get completely different results. One person speaks and people listen. Another person says the same thing and nobody cares. One person asks for help and receives support. Another asks and receives resistance. Why? Because communication is happening on many levels. Words are only one part of it. Your energy communicates. Your attitude communicates. Your intentions communicate. Your presence communicates. Long before you open your mouth, life has already begun reading you. Now, don't misunderstand the word energy. I am not talking about anything mystical. I am talking about the atmosphere you carry. We have all experienced it. Have you ever met someone who immediately made you feel comfortable? Nothing extraordinary happened, yet you felt relaxed, safe, at ease. And then there are people who create tension the moment they enter a room. Again, nothing visible happened, but something is felt. Human beings are constantly communicating beyond words. This is why your inner state matters. A person filled with fear sees obstacles everywhere. A person filled with confidence sees possibilities everywhere. The world may be the same, but their perception is completely different, and perception shapes reality. Think about a simple example. Imagine two men lose their jobs. The first man says, "My life is over." The second man says, "Perhaps life is redirecting me." Same event, different interpretation, different outcome. One becomes bitter, the other becomes wiser. This is why awareness is so valuable. Awareness allows you to respond consciously rather than react automatically. Most people are not living consciously. They are living mechanically. Someone praises them, they become happy. Someone criticizes them, they become miserable. Someone agrees with them, they feel strong. Someone disagrees with them, they feel threatened. Their entire life is controlled by external circumstances. This is not freedom. This is dependency. True freedom begins when your inner state is no longer controlled by every passing event. Then something remarkable happens. You become stable, and stability is attractive, not only in relationships, in every area of life. Think about leadership. Who would you trust more? Someone who panics every time a broadcast accepts the matter of the great money and the work? Or someone who remains calm under pressure? The answer is obvious. Life also trusts stability. Responsibility naturally moves toward people who can handle it. Opportunities naturally move toward people who can sustain them. This is one reason why some individuals seem to attract success effortlessly. It is not always because they are smarter. Sometimes they are simply more stable, more reliable, more grounded. And people feel this. Now let me tell you another secret. Many opportunities come disguised as people. Most people are waiting for opportunities to arrive as money, or contracts, or promotions. But often opportunity arrives as a conversation, a friendship, a mentor, a stranger, a simple introduction. Life rarely announces itself. It whispers. And if your mind is too nosy, you miss it. This is why listening is such a powerful skill. Most people are not listening. They are waiting for their turn to speak, while the wise person listens, observes, learns. And because he listens, he notices things others miss, details, patterns, possibilities, insights, opportunities. This alone can transform a person's life. Now, consider this. Why do some people receive support wherever they go? Because they have learned a simple truth. Life is not a competition. It is a collaboration. The ego sees competitors. Wisdom sees partners. The ego asks, "How can I win?" Wisdom asks, "How can we grow?" And strangely enough, the second approach often creates far greater success. Because human beings naturally support those who genuinely care about others, not those who are obsessed only with themselves. This is why generosity is powerful, not because the guy's mother comes in. So now we come to the most important question. After everything we have discussed, what is the real secret? Is prosperity about luck? No. Is it about working harder than everyone else? Not necessarily. Is it about some hidden technique that only a few people know? No. The real secret is much simpler. And because it is simple, most people overlook it. Life gives more responsibility to those who can handle it. That is all. Think about it. If someone cannot manage one opportunity, why would life trust him with 10? If someone cannot appreciate what he already has, why would more bring fulfillment? The issue is not what is coming into your life. The issue is what kind of person is receiving it. A small cup cannot hold an ocean. First, the cup must expand. Then more becomes possible. This is why inner growth matters, not because it sounds spiritual, because it is practical. A person with awareness handles success differently, handles relationships differently, handles money differently, handles challenges differently. Everything changes. Now let us return to the central idea of this entire conversation. The feminine dimension of life. What does it really mean? At its deepest level, it means receptivity. It means learning how to receive life, receive wisdom, receive love, receive guidance, receive opportunities, receive blessings. Most people know how to chase. Very few know how to receive. And because of this, they remain exhausted. Always running, always striving, always pushing, never allowing, never trusting, never opening. But life is not only about effort. Life is also about openness. A seed does not become a tree through force. It grows because the conditions are right. The soil receives it, the rain nourishes it, the sun supports it. Growth happens naturally. Human life is no different. When your inner world becomes fertile, many beautiful things begin to grow. Peace grows, clarity grows, relationships improve, decisions become wiser, and yes, prosperity often follows. Not as a reward, as a consequence. Now let me ask you something. What would happen if every day you lived with a little more gratitude, a little more respect, a little more awareness? Would your life remain exactly the same? Probably not. Because small changes repeated consistently become transformation. A single drop seems insignificant, but thousands of drops create a river. The same is true for human beings. Every respectful action matters. Every grateful thought matters. Every conscious choice matters. Not because the world is watching, because you are shaping yourself. And ultimately, your life reflects who you have become. Not perfectly, but significantly. This is why wisdom traditions throughout history emphasize character, not image. Character. Image is what people think you are. Character is what you actually are. Image can attract attention. Character attracts trust. Image may create temporary success. Character creates lasting success. And trust me, lasting success is far more valuable. Anyone can rise quickly. The real challenge is remaining there with peace. Now look around the world. Many people have achieved what they once dreamed of, yet they remain restless. Why? Because they achieved external success without internal balance. The outside expanded, the inside did not. And that imbalance creates suffering. The wise person grows both. Outer prosperity, inner prosperity. Outer achievement, inner stability. Outer success, inner peace. This balance is true wealth. And once you understand this, your entire approach to life changes. You stop chasing everything. You start choosing carefully. You stop comparing yourself constantly. You start appreciating your own journey. You stop living through fear. You start living through awareness. And awareness changes everything. Because awareness turns reaction into response, chaos into clarity, struggle into understanding. Now, before we end, remember this one thing. Respect is not only something you give others, it is something you cultivate within yourself. Gratitude is not only for special occasions, it is a way of living. And prosperity is not merely what sits in your bank account. Prosperity is the quality of your entire life. Your peace, your relationships, your health, your purpose, your joy, your ability to sleep peacefully at night, your ability to wake up with enthusiasm in the morning. That is wealth. Everything else is a bonus. So if there is one message to take from this entire journey, let it be this. Become the kind of person who is capable of receiving life fully, with gratitude, with awareness, with humility, with respect. When you do that, whether wealth comes quickly or slowly, whether success comes today or tomorrow, you will already possess something priceless, an absent, a poor,